Yo. Hey, yo. I'm sorry, I had to give y'all that crime time intro. Shout out to crime time. But you know what time it is, baby. This is another episode of Wrestling with the Homies. I'm the homie Qwan, and as always, I'm joined by my homie Sylvan.
Yeah.
And my homie Cooley. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn them notifications on, because you don't want to miss when we got new episodes coming, because we out here to talk that talk. Fellas, what's going on with y'all today, man?
What's today, Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
I feel good.
Friday.
I'm good, man.
It's been a good week. Had a long
Sylvan
vacation.
got on orange.
Yeah, I got on this Nickelodeon ass Nicktoons shirt.
Sylvan dressed like
Bro, I got this shirt from you, Quan. I went
I know. I remember that. People don't know I do my stylist thing too. You know what I'm saying? I record podcasts, I sell shoes, I style. I got my hand in every pot, baby.
The plug.
I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm the
I
plug.
pulled right up and got this shirt. I was like, man, I need something quick. Got to shoot tomorrow. Procrastinating. So yeah, man, I thought I'd get a little color on me, make the melanin pop a little bit more.
Right. Fellas, can I be honest about something?
Spit your
Let's
game,
hear it.
man.
Look, I know we all I hate to say this, but I know we all came on here and we talked about how much we was tired of CM Punk and, the nonsense, but I got to admit, I kind of miss CM Punk.
Oh, you a sick what?
Sick man.
Like, you can't tell me that coming in here and screaming at CM Punk for an hour straight wasn't fun.
Oh, that was
Like,
some
come
good
on now,
times.
let's be honest. I
yeah,
miss CM Punk.
Yeah, good
Punk,
times.
come back to us, Punk.
He'll be back Survivor Series.
Come back where?
Somewhere, anywhere. I just want to. I can't believe I'm saying this because I sat here and said CM Punk needed to get fired, but like, I miss CM Punk. I miss the discourse. I miss him acting up backstage. I miss it all.
Sick
He'll
man.
be back.
It's abusive relationship.
He'll be
you in,
back.
man. I don't miss that at all.
Look,
I don't.
I'm
I do
sorry,
want him back.
I'm
I want
sorry.
him back. I want him back on the two W's with the E. You know what I'm saying? But that's me though. That's my heart.
Hey, we know who going over to AEW. Y'all saw the pre-sale. Actually, did y'all? I meant to ask y'all that. Did y'all see the pre-sale code for Wrestle Dream, AEW's next pay-per-view?
Let me guess. Edge.
The pre-sale was EDG 95.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Talk about shameless, bruh.
Come on,
we
man.
know where it's going. We know what's happening. Edge is popping up tomorrow.
Yo, but I will say that Wrestle Dream theme is incredible. Oh my God, bro.
Give
It's
it
like
to him.
old,
Show AEW some
like
love,
old school
Sylvan.
vibes.
Show 'em
Like
some love.
It's good. It's very good.
What?
It's very good. It's very good. It's very good.
It's incredible.
It's very good.
Okay.
It's very solid. They're doing something that they always do, which is live in the past. They're basically WCW
Here we
2.0
go.
at this
Here we
point.
go.
Sign another old talent. Send them off right. See how it goes. That's just me though.
That's hate.
I'm hating. Shouts to you, Edge. Shout
Shout out to
go and
Edge.
finish your
He's
career
definitely-
over there, man.
He's definitely popping up Sunday though. Definitely.
Bro, it makes so much
1000%,
sense, man.
but-
Him and Christian and him and the Hardys, like, yeah, why not?
Right.
I would love to see
We'll
it.
get into all that later. Now, fellas, I know y'all been seeing the rumors, these house shows. Cody Rhodes has been being attacked by Omos.
Yeah.
Now, usually the things that happen on house shows is a good indication of the direction we're going in on TV. So it's looking like Omos and Cody might be the next feud. And of course, the internet is doing what they do. The IWC is screaming about it. They're saying Cody made the wrong decision. He should have never came back to WWE. Fellas, what are we talking about? Can I go on one of my Kevin Durant's? I like to call them my Kevin Durant's. Can I go on one?
Yeah,
Because I got a
man.
lot to say about the IWC. I got a problem with the
Get your-
IWC.
Get your rocks off.
So look, let's back it up. Let's back it up to a couple weeks ago. I came on this podcast and, we were having a very nuanced conversation about what a star was. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
We're talking about stars. And in that conversation, I mentioned that, people don't pay to see Gunther. Now, if you caught that clip, because that clip did its rounds on the internet, if you caught that clip, it was a part of a very nuanced conversation. But if you caught that clip without context, it might have just seemed like I was, trashing Gunther for no reason. So let me give y'all a little bit of context. Gunther is incredible. Gunther is one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. I would even argue that Gunther is one of the best wrestlers in the entire industry. He doesn't have a flaw. He has a look, he can talk, and most importantly, he can wrestle. He can wrestle his ass off. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But people aren't paying to see Gunther. And when I say people, I don't mean you and your three homies. I mean, in large, people aren't flying halfway across the world, paying for hotel rooms, paying for travel, Uber to the show, paying for dinner, paying for trips to watch Gunther. It's just not happening. And we know it's not happening because when I look at the stats, it's not adding up. I go to WWH.com. I look at those top 5, top 10, top 15 T-shirts. I don't see Gunther's name. Matter of fact, I did the math. I looked Gunther up on WWE.com. You know where his shirt ranks?
75.
There's 46 others in front of him. Gunther ranks number 47 as far as the best-selling merch in WWE. His segments aren't the most watched on any show ever. But we know who the actual stars are. We know who the stars are because we see it. We see house shows struggling to do 3,000, 4,000, and then Cody Rhodes gets announced for a main event and the show sells out. We see that. We see SmackDown ratings starting to fall, and then Roman Reigns gets announced, and the show is up 60% the next week. We see it. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, these are the real stars. Gunther's not a star. He's just the guy that wrestles really good. The fact that that's a controversial statement to make is my problem with the IWC. The IWC lacks basic common sense. The internet wrestling community is clueless. Yeah, I said it. The internet wrestling community is clueless. If the IWC had things the way they wanted them, Roman Reigns would have been fired 10 years ago. The biggest star in wrestling today, he wouldn't even have a job if the IWC was in charge. He would be working at Islands making tribal chief burgers. If the IWC was in charge, Johnny Gargano would have both world titles and he would be defending them in the main event of WrestleMania against Chad Gable. The IWC opinions are so off base that if it was popular opinion in the IWC that the sky was blue, I would have to go outside and check because I wouldn't believe it. Maybe the sky is green. My biggest problem with the IWC is that they don't understand what they are. You're the minority. You're a minority in an already niche fan base, and your opinions rarely align with the opinions of the real world. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, every wrestling fan has the internet. It's 2023. Aren't we all a part of the IWC? No. Most wrestling fans watch wrestling and move on when the show ends. They don't interact with wrestling on message boards. They're not on Twitter arguing with people. They're not a part of the IWC. They're just wrestling fans. We are the 1%. And I know you're also asking yourself, aren't you three a part of the IWC? Yes, you are absolutely 1,000% correct. Me, my brothers Cooley, my brother Sylvan, we are all a part of the IWC. But the difference is we realize it. We understand that we're a part of the 1%. We understand that the stuff that we fantasize should happen doesn't always align with what actually is going to happen. And we're okay with that. We're going to come on here, give you our commentary about it. We're going to laugh and joke. But at the end of the day, we understand that WWE is never going to cater to the 1%. That wouldn't even make sense from a business standpoint. To cater to 1%? Why would they cater to me? If I was to take over WWE Creative, WWE would be off air tomorrow. Because I would be terrible. I would book all my favorites to win world titles. The ratings would tank. WWE would be off TV. Because you know how many successful billion-dollar companies I've ran? The same amount as you. 0. And I say all that to circle it back to this. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is probably about to feud with Omos. It's not what I want to see. It's definitely not what my brother Cooley wants to see, and I'm willing to bet my life that is not what my brother Sylvan wants to see at all. But we know what's going to happen. Cody Rhodes is going to be down for a second. He's going to get his come up. He's going to overcome the odds. He's going to win. And then Omos is going to be off TV for 4 more months. And we're going to forget about it. We're not going to remember this happened. But at the end of the day, Cody Rhodes is one of the biggest stars in wrestling today. He's a mega star. Cody Rhodes has made it to an echelon of superstars that most wrestlers pray that they ever get to. So to sit here and claim that Cody Rhodes somehow made the wrong decision when he returned to WWE because he has to feud with Omos is the most misinformed opinion I've ever read on this internet. But that's just me. Any of you fellas care to react?
What you got, Sylvan, man? I know you got some.
I mean, you're not wrong, Qwan. You know how I feel about the IWC. IWC is definitely part of the 1% of wrestling fans. And even I have to remind myself that my perspective and how I feel about wrestling is very niche. It's based upon how I interact with this product that I love so much. But I am part of the 1%. I stalk news outlets. I look at current events. I want to know what's going on beyond the TV show. But most people are watching this television show and moving on with their everyday lives. So I'm definitely not against what you're saying, Qwan, whatsoever. I 100% agree with you. As far as this Omos and Cody Rhodes thing goes, I think there's a larger issue here. You know what I mean? And I think there's a larger issue.
Let's talk about it. Tell me, what's that larger issue?
I think there's a larger issue here. The larger issue is that there's really no plans for Cody Rhodes. And there hasn't been plans for Cody Rhodes since he lost to Brock, since he beat Brock Lesnar, bro. Since he beat Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes has just been doing side missions. He's just been interweaved in storylines that kind of include him, but not really, but kind of allude to maybe making sense in the future. And the second largest issue is that Omos, we have no plans for him either. He's just a big draw, and he looks compelling. And when the time arises for him to be in a prominent position, he's there. But there's no plans. They don't know how to book this big guy. This is actually, I would go down to say that Omos is probably the worst booked big guy in WWE history.
In history.
So that's my 2 cents. Am I gonna watch it? I mean, yeah, of course I am. I mean, I guess I got to, but I don't know. I don't get it. I don't.
This is a 7-foot man with charisma out of this world, and they have no idea what to do with him. This is insane. Cooley, tell me, is Omos versus Cody something you want to see?
Definitely not. You know who Cody Rhodes is right now, man? He's the Nate Robinson of the NBA right now, man. You know how Nate Robinson is.
What?
Nate Robinson?
Hey,
excuse me?
Hey. Let me finish.
Let
not
me
as
land,
skill.
let me
I'm not talking about skill. I mean, I'm talking about like Nate going to each different team. They don't know where to put him. They don't know where to put him. He never had a home. They don't know where to put Cody at right now, man. And it's kind of nasty work right now. Obviously, we don't want him to go up against Seth. I mean, that's not his goal. He wants the big Universal or whatever with Roman, but that's just not in the cards right now. And
can we just be honest that there isn't anybody other than Roman? Like I said last podcast, there's nobody else.
There's Shinsuke Nakamura. There's Seth Rollins. There's a lot of people that
he already faced Seth Rollins.
There's the
it ain't Seth no more, bro. That's over.
Okay, so this is what you guys are missing. WWE is very clearly setting up war games. If you don't see that, then you're just not paying attention.
I forgot.
They're setting up war games between Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and who's the other guy? Who else is even involved in this?
Is it
Jay? That feels like a Raw match. That feels like every Raw for the past 3 months.
The problem is it has been a Raw match for every single Raw. That is the problem. But they're clearly setting up war games between Team Cody versus the Judgment Day. And this Omos side mission is just a side mission for the Crown Jewel show. Y'all know how these Saudi Arabia show goes. Yep. Come on, man. Y'all know this. The Saudi Arabia, they want to see Cody Rhodes overcome the odds against this giant man. Yeah. And they're going to get it. It's going to be a 5-minute match. We're going to complain about it on Twitter, and then we're going to forget about it. Like always. So I wouldn't say WWE has no plans for Cody. They're just spinning the wheels until it's time to ramp up. Let's be honest.
So does
I don't
this
know,
mean
man.
that?
There's a lot of time between now and WrestleMania. I don't know what he's gonna do for the next 8 months.
Look, we'll figure it out. But I do want to say, even though I went on my Kevin Durant, as Cooley likes to call it, I don't want to direct that towards the entire IWC because there is a big portion of the IWC who does have common sense, and we can decipher the things we want versus what probably makes more sense to the rest of the world. So they do exist out there. We're proof that they do. But the loud majority in the IWC, they got to stop. They got to stop. You you make this wrestling experience so toxic, and it doesn't have to be that. This is a fantasy. This is a children's show at the end of the day that we just all love so much that we gather and talk about all day. But at the end of the day, realize what this is. This is a production. It's entertainment. It's for your entertainment. And the minute that stops being entertaining, it's probably time to turn the channel and find something else to do.
Are the large majority of IWC fans AEW purists?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Now we talking,
because it seems like every time we start talking about the IWC or we mention the IWC, and it has to deal with a wrestler like Cody Rhodes who came from AEW, who is clearly raised his profile since returning back to WWE.
Clearly,
as soon as he's doing something that isn't IWC friendly, it's his career is over. Oh, look at what happens when you go to the other company. I don't see. I mean, and this is just me. I'm not claiming to say that this is a truth, but I'm saying I don't see a lot of people who are like. I don't see a lot of IWC fans that lean more towards WWE that are talking about what Saraya is doing right now, or are talking about what Ruby Soho is doing, or what Keith Lee is doing over at AEW. Is that a thing?
Care. So that's absolutely a thing. And I think it's by design. AEW is a lot different from WWE. AEW caters to that 1%. I always say it. AEW's crowds are a lot louder than WWE's crowds as far as like noise and participation. And that's specifically because everyone who pays to go to an AEW show, they know exactly what they're getting. They tapped in. They watch everything that AEW puts out. They watch the indies. They know who these guys are. So they're going to be loud and energetic the entire night. WWE shows are a lot different. WWE shows are a mixed bag. You might have your hardcore fans like us who pay attention and know what's going on, but you also might have a woman and guy there that's just on a date night. It was something to do. You might have a family with their kids there, and the kids watch every night. But the mom and father, they have no idea who any of these people are or what's going on. They just wanted to treat their kids to a fun night. So WWE shows are very different from AEW shows, and WWE fans are a lot different from AEW fans. And that's why when it comes to the IWC and their very niche opinions, it's usually the AEW side of that fan base because the company they love caters to them. And WWE is never going to cater to the 1%. It's just not. It wouldn't make sense from a business standpoint to cater to the 1%. They're trying to be global. They are global, not trying to be. They are global. They just merged with the UFC. This is a global company. They're never going to cater to what you and I want. They might dabble in it. They might give us something every now and then. But at the end of the day, the audience scope is so much further than you and I, if that makes sense. It's a billion people out there. They're not going to cater to me.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
We're going to get Omos versus Cody, and it's going to be terrible. But, I mean, it is what it is, man. Stone Cold versus Scott Hall at WrestleMania wasn't great. It wasn't incredible.
Right.
But he's still Stone Cold. Still Scott Hall. Like, it, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know. He wasn't the Scott Hall at that time.
Nah, he wasn't.
Yeah, that was Scott Alcohol.
Was.
Shout out to Scott.
Yo, rest in peace.
Hall passed a couple years, right?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Legend.
Yeah.
That guy.
But it wasn't the same. We get those all the time. We get matches with big guys that do terrible, terrible matches and just keep it pushing. And
John Cena versus Great Khali.
Bro.
Oh, my God.
Great Khali versus everybody. Let's just keep it a stack. Like that Punjabi prison match with the Undertaker.
Oh my God, with Taker, that was terrible.
Wow.
That was terrible.
But
you know what? And my last point on this topic before we move on, we forget. We forget the feeling that we had when we were kids and we saw like the Great Khali versus Undertaker, or we saw like the Big Show versus anybody. Like looking back at it, it was terrible. But as a kid, that was everything to you. Like visually seeing a 7'6" man versus John Cena, that was insane to us as kids. And we got to remember, yeah, we're adults now, so Omos versus Cody Rhodes is not appealing. Yeah. But to a 7-year-old, seeing Cody Rhodes overcome this 7'4" giant, that's everything to them. Don't forget that. Don't forget why you got into this. Because most of us started watching wrestling when we were children. We grew up with it and we matured with it. But at the end of the day, most of us got into this sport, this form of entertainment when we were kids.
Look, man,
let the kids have it too, man.
The first wrestling event I ever saw was the Ministry of Darkness about to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon to Satan on television, bro.
Man,
and I saw Stone
Cold.
That was
insane, bro.
That was the first time I ever saw any type of wrestling.
That was insane.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but I need to be tuning into this. So you 100% right, Qwan. I mean,
right. And this match is going to tell us a lot about Cody, by the way, because Seth Rollins went in there with Omos, and he had a banger. So, Cody, if you can't have a banger with Omos, you know what I'm saying? We might have to have that conversation on this podcast.
What's this hate against Cody Rhodes, dog? Like,
I've done a 180 on Cody Rhodes. People don't understand.
You really did.
A year ago, I was the biggest Cody Rhodes stan. I damn near wanted to get a tattoo of the American flag on my neck. I was tapped in, but no. I'm definitely joking. I would never get an American flag tattoo. But fast forward to today, and it's like Cody it's really just his fans. It's like Drake. It's like Drake. We love Drake. Drake is incredible. Actually, no, not Drake. J. Cole. It's like J. Cole. We love J. Cole. J. Cole got bars for days. We love J. Cole. But sometimes J. Cole says things that aren't that hot, and his fan base will hype it up like it's the greatest thing they ever heard. And that kind of makes you just like a little bit, just kind of, sour on J. Cole. That's Cody Rhodes to me, man. Resentment. But we want to hear from y'all, man. Do y'all want to see Omos versus Cody Rhodes, or is the IWC right? And Cody Rhodes made the wrong decision in signing with WWE. Should he have stayed in AEW so he can wrestle bangers with Vikingo and Commander? Let us know below. Comment. Tell us.
Golly, bro.
There was so much sarcasm. There was so much sarcasm in that statement. I'm sorry I did that. Shout out to AEW. I'm an AEW guy, man. Why am I doing that? I'm sorry.
I don't know, man.
But let us know something. Let me know if I sound crazy or if you agree. And Cody Rhodes is just, this is just another one of those matches, and he'll be fine.
Yo, look, man. I want to bring something up to y'all brothers real quick.
What's up?
So, as everybody knows, I am an artist. I'm a rapper.
Incredible.
Thank you so much. I have been a rapper for a very long time. I believe, once again, rap and wrestling are the exact same things, right? If you see my background, I got the IC championship right here, and I got the rap history book right to my left, because I believe they marry each other very, very, very much. And I wanted to bring something up. So, who are y'all favorite rappers? Who is like y'all favorite rappers that y'all love so much? Or you know what? Name one rapper that y'all really love that you feel like, you know what? He should have been a lot further. Like he had a moment. He seemed like he was going to be that guy. And then it was just like, he kind of maybe didn't reach his full potential or her full potential. And the trajectory just switched up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the politics of the label happened, or they just went independent, or they just fell off, whatever it was. Who's that one rapper that you believed in, and it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Oh, man, it's so many, which is crazy.
It's so many, but I got to tell you.
I'm going to go with Lupe.
It's Mickey. My boy, Mickey Facts.
Oh, that's my man.
Shouts
to Mickey. That's my man.
Facts. He has one of the most incredible albums. If you've never heard Mickey Mouse, man, it's a work of art. It's a work of art.
Damn. I'm going to go with Lupe, man. I love Lupe, bro. Like I loved him, and then I don't know what happened. It just I don't know. It just faded away.
You know what, Cooley? I'm glad you said Lupe because I'm gonna go with Lupe too. In fact, Lupe is still in my top three. It's Jay-Z, Nas, Lupe Fiasco. I believe
I'm not
Lupe
mad at that.
Fiasco is quite possibly the best rapper in the entire world. I truly believe in that. And Lupe Fiasco is hugely successful. This guy has had platinum albums, platinum singles, toured around the world, still tours around the world, has had major success in the mainstream, was poised to be that top guy. But somewhere around the lasers era, things got a little bit lost in translation. At some point, we saw that the label was holding him back, and his fans had to demand some type of answers. It was a bunch of politics backstage, not backstage, in the background. And Lupe expressed a lot of these sentiments post his career. Right
Mm.
now he's more settled into his own routine. He's doing his own thing. He's still largely successful, still well respected, but something in you just makes you feel like, damn, like what if such and such and such just went such and such and such. You know what I mean? Like, what if the cards were in his favor? You know,
Mm.
same thing for a Mickey Fax. You know what I mean? Same thing for a lot of rappers, quite honestly. You know, I look at guys like, man, I can look at like the Dom Kennedys. I can look at the UNIs. I can look at
Pac Div.
Pac
Pac
Divs,
Div.
the Charles Hamiltons of the world, the Asher Roths. Like, there's so many rappers that are well respected and have high esteem from a critical standpoint, but for one reason or another, they just couldn't get to that mainstream level, right? Or they did
Mm-hmm.
taste that mainstream level, but just couldn't carry it all the way. That brings me to my topic today. As we all know, last week we have seen a myriad of releases with the WWE, post that Endeavor deal. And what we've been seeing with a lot of the wrestlers that are speaking their truth, or at least kind of alluding to what happened, is that there wasn't enough TV time, that they didn't get the right opportunities, right? That they just didn't get a chance to really show their potential. And that kind of
Mm-hmm.
started, it kind of started like twisting my mind a little bit. What is the right opportunity for a wrestler? What is that considered? I look at wrestling as a whole, right? We're looking at wrestlers who come into the industry, start from the bottom, maybe do bingo halls, maybe get with independent promotion for a little while, maybe escalate to an Impact, or maybe, and then from there probably go to an AEW, or just go straight to WWE because they have the right connections, or maybe it's what's the word I'm looking for, when your family is all in it, and
Oh, that nepotism.
nepotism. There you go. Or maybe there's a little bit of nepotism.
Shout
You
out to
never know.
Dominic Mysterio.
Shouts to Dominic Mysterio. Shouts to Charlotte Flair. You just never know how you're going to get to the top space, right? But at some point, you get to the top space, and you're at WWE, you're in NXT, or maybe you're on the main roster, and for some reason, you just don't get, or maybe you do get an opportunity, or and to show what you're about, and it just doesn't pan out well. But what does that opportunity really look like? What is that defined as? Like, how do you even gauge what kind of opportunity you have? When I look at someone like Rick Boogs, who basically just didn't get any type of TV time, or I look at Hit Row, who had an ample amount of TV time at one point, but for some reason it stopped and it just went away, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is a real opportunity for a wrestler to show their potential and what they can do? I bring it back to rap. In rap, if I or anybody else signs some type of contract, right? Go to a major label. You grind it, you got a little bit of buzz, now you're signed to Def Jam Records. And you got a solid contract. You negotiate based off of who you are and what you want, right? You get your chances from the label. They put out a few singles. Let's say it doesn't do well, right? Now you're shelved. You can't really drop any type of music. Now, as a rapper or as an artist, I can still display my talents on social media. I
Right.
can still rap on social
Mixtapes.
media. I can do mixtapes. I can do shows. I can get out there and work. But as a wrestler, when you out there and they say, nah, we ain't rocking with you, and you
That's
ain't on
it. That's
TV,
it.
that's it. You just want house shows, bro. And you're lucky if you even get the house shows. A lot of people just sitting and catering, just waiting to get something to do. And how does that even work? So I want to bring up the idea that should there be some type of wrestling performance quota that says we're going to give you X amount of weeks to get over? That says if you don't get over in this time, then we're going to bring you back here. That says if we don't see promise with you in a X amount of time, then we're gonna bring you back to NXT or back to the Performance Center, or should there be some type of list that says, hey, you are now on the possibly getting cut list? Because a lot of what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing from a lot of these wrestlers is the fact that there's a lot of unspoken truths or unspoken rules that are just like, well, he's not on TV, she's not on TV, they're in catering. Well, they're it looks like they maybe get, the chopping block. And it's kind of unfair. It's a little unfair when you don't even get the opportunity to show your potential. And these guys are independent contractors. So they are negotiating their contracts, and there's a certain level of what they can and what they can and can't control. But at the end of the day, the powers that be are the powers that be. And if they don't believe you got it, then you want a chopping block. Right. So I believe there should be some type of performance metric, some type of quota. I think it would be good for wrestling. I think it would be good for wrestling overall, just because it gives wrestlers some type of understanding of where they're at. Now, I don't know what the details of that looks like, but it's kind of tough to just get signed, and then all of a sudden you just sitting on the chopping block getting a paycheck, and you didn't even get a real chance to be on TV and show what you could really do. That's my TED Talk. I just want to open up the floor. I don't have any real answers, but tough. It's a little bit personal to me as an artist. To see my fellow wrestlers who didn't really get to show what they were really about go through what they have to go through and figure it out on their own. That's my TED Talk.
I hear you. Like, it's tough, but it's like, if there's a quota, how did you get signed in the first place? Like, what made them pick you to get signed if there isn't a quota? You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to. It has to be something, because if we're just signing people just to fill up a roster, what's the reasoning of that? And if there was a quota for the list of what you got to do, what if most of them people can't do none of that stuff, and we got to cut the whole roster, and then what?
Right.
So I feel like they just have. Yeah, I feel like they just have people on the roster just in case. Like, all right, it's your turn, bro. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's tough, man.
Is it good for wrestling morale? To go in and not know what's going to happen? I don't know. That's tough.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
What you're saying is definitely not wrong. Like, I hear you on there should be like some type of criteria or some type of quota you should be available to meet before you get basically clipped and chopped off. But the thing is, I just don't know if that's realistic. I don't really understand how. To me, I look at wrestling like the game of life. There's no such thing as equal opportunity, despite the fact that we all want to believe and say that there's equal opportunity for everyone. That's not a real thing. It's imaginary. Some people are going to be afforded opportunity after opportunity just because of where they come from, and some people aren't going to be given those same opportunities. That's just what it is. So when I look at wrestling, I see some guys like, let's say, Roman Reigns. He's going to get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to sink or swim, just specifically because WWE saw something in him. They liked the way he looked. They feel like he checked boxes that they were looking for. So regardless of whether people were getting behind him or not, he was just going to get every opportunity just for the simple fact that he looked the part. And then we got somebody like Dominic Mysterio, who in the beginning, he had nothing. There was nothing salvageable about Dominic Mysterio as a wrestler, but because his dad was Rey Mysterio, that nepotism was there. He was going to be given opportunities until he was able to swim. And then we got a guy like LA Knight, who was giving very little opportunity, but the small opportunity that he was given, he hit a home run. He hit the ball out the park, and because of that, his opportunity started to increase, and to the point where everybody got behind him, and now he's looking like he's on a rocket ship straight up to the top. And then you're going to have guys who have all the talent in the world, but they just don't get the opportunity to shine ever, and they're going to end up released. That's just life. Like Dolph, I'm saying, like look at the NBA. Look at Michael Bridges. Right now, he's killing on the Nets. He's over here dropping 30 and 40 points in games. Yeah. When he was in Phoenix, he didn't really have an opportunity to show that because he was playing behind Devin Booker. He was playing behind Chris Paul. He was playing behind DeAndre Ayton. So he didn't really have a chance to really show off what he can do like that. So we saw him putting up 12 a game, 15, 16 a game. But once he finally went somewhere else and got that opportunity to really have the ball and do what he could do, he's showing the world that, no, I'm actually a superstar. I'm not just a guy on a roster. I'm a guy that can make an all-star team. And I feel like it's a lot of wrestlers like that in WWE that just haven't really been given the ball. So my advice to them would to be to get from underneath that WWE umbrella, take the Cody Rhodes route, take the Drew McIntyre route, take the Bobby Lashley route, go somewhere else, shine, get over with the crowd. So by the time that you do come back to WWE, you don't have to have an opportunity because you are the opportunity. They see what you can do. The crowd is already behind you. So all they got to do is just plug you in and you can go. That's the best way, because if you're just going to sit on the roster and hope that the opportunity comes, sometimes it might and sometimes it won't. You said it best, Sylvan. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you.
I mean, yeah, I feel you, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I do wonder about the people like Aaliyah, right? Aaliyah, I could name 5 matches.
She's so cute, by the way. Aaliyah, shout out to you. You're so cute. Shooting my shot on this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I can name maybe like 4 or 5 matches I've seen from Aaliyah realistically, on television, right? Is that really enough of an opportunity to show what you can do? Now, for someone like Hit Row, I can see like, okay, Hit Row, we've given y'all angles, we've given you guys positioning, we put y'all on TV for ample amount of time, we've given you guys a real shot, and now we're gonna take away your leader. Basically, we're gonna take away Top Dollar. And I see why Top Dollar was taken away for botches and probably some backstage politics and how people feel about him. So I don't think they have any issue. They clearly see something in B-Fab and other homie. I can't remember other homie's name.
Adonis.
Adonis.
I would love to have Adonis podcast, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I can see, okay, there was ample enough time to gauge, okay, can this person really hang or can they not? But for the people who are just getting signed and just can't do anything or just don't have any plans, it's like what do you do about them? And like, what are you doing with them?
Hey, life ain't fair, man. Like I said, get from underneath that WWE umbrella and get popping. Exactly. Like,
go to NXT.
We've seen it. Drew McIntyre. There was a point in time when Drew McIntyre on that main roster, he was in a 3-man band. He was running around with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal doing air guitar on TV. He got fired. Drew McIntyre got fired, but did he go cry? No, he went, he bulked up, he got bigger, he went to Impact, he rebranded himself as like a badass, and it got over. So by the time he came back to WWE, he didn't need an opportunity anymore because he was already shining elsewhere. So he was the commodity at that point. But right now, WWE is the commodity. So it's like you got to show and prove. And if you don't get a chance to show what you can do, hey, tough titty, bruh. Go somewhere else and shine.
I guess I just got a sensitive spot for the people who don't get the chance, right? Because I look at someone like Drew McIntyre, right? Drew McIntyre had the chance. He had the IC championship. That's a chance. He got put in a really terrible group, but that was a chance as well. Like, he got a shot, and they were like, yo, it ain't working out. But there's people on this roster who they get signed, they have maybe 3 or 4 matches, and it's like, yo, it's a bust. Like, get out of here. Like, we're not even. It's like, well, dang, like, I didn't even get I just got here. Like, it's like if I get hired to a job, you hire me for a job, and then as soon as I get to the job, I work for a week, and you're like, you know what? Get out of here, fam. We ain't.
But give me some examples though. Like who really deserves a chance to shine to you?
In my opinion, out of the whole roster, out of everyone that really got released, quite honestly, I'd probably Oh well, yeah. Out of everyone that got released, I mean,
I know who I would say. Like I hear you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you because Mason Mansour, the Maximum Male Models,
Mm.
the stuff they were doing on YouTube and social media, that was incredible. And if they got all they need was 3 minutes. If they got 3 minutes to show, like every Raw, every SmackDown, to just do a promo like that, it would have got over. But because they didn't, it's like
Mason Mansour. I would honestly, being honest, I would have given Aaliyah some time because it's like, yo, I didn't get to see enough of Aaliyah, and it's not saying like Aaliyah is the most poignant wrestler of all time, but it's like y'all did just sign this woman and
right.
didn't do anything with her like on any level at all. Like, what's the point? Like, what is the point of bringing on talent and you're not going to do anything with them just to release them? It's like you're wasting their time, their energy. The only thing they're getting from this is money, and then they have to have anxiety about when or if they're going to lose their job because they're not deemed important.
You got to create your own opportunity, man. You got to. Look at Jade Cargill. People don't know. 2019, Jade Cargill got a WWE tryout. Y'all know what happened? They passed. WWE passed on her.
I thought she turned
it
it
down. Good enough at the time. Or maybe she turned it down. Who knows? Either way, she didn't end up with a job after that tryout.
Yeah.
She went to AEW, became a star, and now she's on her way back to WWE as the commodity. WWE is not an opportunity for her anymore. She is the opportunity because she created that opportunity. So
but
sometimes...
what about the people who can't create the opportunity? Like I look at, all right, so boom, right? Like I look at Mustafa Ali, right? Mustafa Ali, literally, in my opinion, has had the ball in his court for a long time. They've given him chance after chance to figure out how to get over. He's been put in matches. And Mustafa Ali got to a point where he said, you know what? This ain't working out. Give me my release papers. I want out of here. And Vince said, "Ha! What?
Nah."
He
said, "Nah."
No, not at all. How about you sit on the shelf and collect dust, Ali, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with you, if anything. You know, like, what about the guys that just have to deal with their circumstances, right? Like, people aren't as fortunate as a Cody Rhodes, where he's family lineage, and he could walk in and say, yo, this isn't working for me. I want my release. Please let me go. And get the snip, snap, snip, snap. A lot of people just got to sit down and just wonder about their jobs. It's like there's got to be some type of, especially as independent contractors, right? Like if you're an independent contractor, you at some point have to decide, okay, these are my terms. This is what I want. These are the quotas that have to be fulfilled on both parties, right? But we all know WWE and most wrestling companies in general do not abide by that metric. It's independent contract for a business convenience sake. So I just look at it as like, yo, what about all these guys that you guys sign that you have no plans for, that are just having anxiety and just wake up one day and are like, oh wait, I'm released. And even the people who have plans, like you cut an Ali like weeks before a title
right.
like a title picture shot.
Right.
Like it's just very like, yo, I would like to see some type of reeling in for morale. But I mean, that's just me though.
I feel you.
Being idealistic.
And like, trust me, we as black men, we for sure feel you, because as black men, like, let's just keep it a bean. There's going to be opportunities that don't get handed to us because we're going to have to work twice as hard, like you always say, just because the color of our skin. So,
Facts.
like, I hear you, but at the same time, life ain't fair. Sometimes you just got to play the hand that you're dealt, try to do your best, create the opportunity, and if the opportunity never comes, it never comes. Like, everybody's not meant to be a superstar at the end of the day. That's just the hard truth. Some people are meant for it, and some people aren't going to get there, and that's just what it is. Look at Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart was a member of the Hart family. Everybody thought Teddy Hart was going to be next in line, but it never happened for him. He was a attitude issue. That's a whole nother podcast. But in the end of the day, someone who looked like a superstar in the making never became a superstar. And it kind of just, that's life. It is what it is. For every Michael Bridges, there's a Bol Bol. Bol was Victor Wembanyama before Victor Wembanyama. Bol was Victor Wembanyama before Victor Wembanyama. He's 7'4". He got handles. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. He can play defense. He can block. Bol is nice, but up to this point, Bol has not had a chance to show it.
Yeah.
And
he
now
might have a chance in Phoenix. Yeah.
He might have a chance in Phoenix, but at the same time, that roster is stacked, so he might not. Yeah. Bol could very well not be in the NBA in the next 5 years. And that's nothing against his talent, because he's one of the most talented players that I've seen. I was a big Bol fan, but at the end of the day, some people just aren't going to get that opportunity to do their thing, and it just is what it is. I would love for there to be some criteria or some type of quota available for them to be met, but at the end of the day, that's just not realistic, because that's not how life plays out. That's just not how life works, unfortunately. It is what it is.
Man, whatever happened to B.O.B., man?
B.O.B. had hits.
Yeah,
he had nothing on you.
B.O.B. had hits. He had
airplanes.
Hits. Yeah,
he had airplanes.
He
had like, bro, but B.O.B. had like 4 number ones. But you know what happened? It fizzled out at some point, and it was probably label troubles and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that went on. But at the end of the day, everybody's not meant to be a superstar. He had his moment in time, and it passed, and that's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. But look, we want to hear from y'all. We want to hear from y'all. Let us know how you feel about this topic below. Do you feel like there should be more of an opportunity presented for these guys, or do you feel like, it's just life? It is what it is. What can you do?
Just get a purgatory clause or something, man. Like, if you ain't hitting like that, like, just know that you on a purgatory list, man. Like, you know what I mean? If you being saying, like, I feel like at least in wrestling, we know if you're gonna be on a bench, you on a bench, you probably gonna get traded. In wrestling, it's not like that, man. It's like you could be active, you could be doing things you could have things going on, and it could just be like, yo, nah, we get him out of here. He's done. But I got a title match next week. Nah, get him out of here.
That's tough.
Oh, but we've been building this for the past 3. We don't care. We'll find somebody else. Get him out of here.
Mustafa Ali got the same treatment as Harrison Barnes on the bench, bro. Y'all remember that, man?
Facts.
Y'all remember that, man?
He got traded during the game, bro. He got traded during the game. He played. He was out there hooping. Bro. He sat down, and then
it's tough, man.
It's
like,
come
on,
happens,
man.
Bro. It's gonna be a lot of Michael Beasleys, man. And I love how we keep referencing basketball, but it's gonna be a lot of Michael Beasleys.
It's so relatable.
Y'all know Michael Beasley was one of the best players in the world at one point. He apparently used to go one-on-one with LeBron James in practice and like dog walk LeBron, supposedly. We don't know if this is facts, but that's what people claim. So Michael Beasley just never got a shot on the main roster like that. Like he got traded around. He would play sparingly. Sometimes he wouldn't play. DNP coach's decision. It never really worked out for him. But we know the talent was there. That's life, man. That's gonna be life.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Fellas. Let's talk about GOATs for a second. Let's talk about GOATs. Greatest of all time. First off, who's the greatest basketball player of all time? We've been talking about basketball a lot. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Is it LeBron? Is it Kobe? Is it Jordan? Somebody tell me something.
Of all time.
Give it a Jordan, man.
Oh, you a Jordan guy?
I mean, why not? I don't see why. I mean, if anybody says LeBron, like, I'm not mad at it. I just think that when it comes down to influence and overall, like, how the game was shifted and how we perceive the game, I mean, it's never gonna get crazier than Jordan. And a big part of that is just because of the times and where the game was at, right? Like, it's not necessarily Jordan himself, even though Jordan is Jordan, but it's a product. He's a product of the times, But if you say LeBron, I'm never mad at that. Or if you say Kobe, I'm not mad at that. But just
I'm mad at that if you say Kobe. Definitely mad at that.
I don't. I feel
Shout
no
out
ways.
to Kobe, Black
Shout
Mamba,
to the, I feel,
not the GOAT.
Yeah, but if but Jordan, I mean, nobody's ever going to impact the game the way that Jordan did.
I hear you.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Who's
Jordan and LeBron. Oh man,
give it to me.
Man,
Who's the greatest of all time?
Is it out of the top 3?
I mean,
or is anybody?
In general,
I love Iverson, but I know I love Iverson, but I know he's not the greatest of all time, bro.
If Iverson's your great,
say it. He's not the greatest of all time. He's my favorite player of all time. But I know deep down inside, LeBron is the greatest of all time, man. Like he checks the boxes of everything. Of everything. It's crazy.
Listen,
and I didn't see Jordan play. The first game I seen of Jordan, he was in a Space Jam
Wizards,
uniform.
Baby.
Nah, he was in a Space Jam uniform. That's the first time I ever seen Jordan, bro.
I mean, that's real though. That's real.
Right. It's real.
And then it was Wizards. Yeah. So
I've never seen LeBron play. I know it's a crazy thing, but I've never seen LeBron
Wait. What?
Live?
Yeah, I've never seen LeBron play live.
Oh, I've been.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like. Yeah.
Oh no, live. I mean, Yeah, live.
Listen, man. I'm a LeBron James guy. LeBron James is the greatest of all time to me, specifically because of the hype that surrounded him coming into the game. Now, like from day one, high school, LeBron James was donned the chosen one.
Yeah.
He was called King James before he played a minute in the NBA. Do you know how much pressure that is to fail? Yeah. He had to either sink or swim, but LeBron became everything that we thought he would. It seemed like an impossible feat, but somehow LeBron James did it. And to me, that makes LeBron James the GOAT. Now, WWE has been referring to John Cena as the greatest of all time, and they're doubling down on it. It's at the point where they're introducing John Cena on the microphone as the greatest of all time, John Cena. And a lot of people, they feel a way about it because there's no way that John Cena is the greatest of all time, right?
I think John Cena is the greatest of all time.
Hey, what if I told y'all he is the greatest of all time? Why not? Why not? Because let's look at it. Look at the parallels between John Cena and LeBron James. LeBron James came into the NBA all hype. He had every opportunity to fail, and he succeeded. It's kind of similar to John Cena. Let's not forget, John Cena came into the WWE at a time when they lost their biggest stars. The Rock went to Hollywood. Stone Cold Steve Austin retired. You know, Triple H, HBK, all these dudes were on their last leg, and we needed somebody to fill those shoes. And it seemed very unlikely that this white man from Boston was going to step into that role and become that. But somehow, some way, John Cena did it. He carried the ball at a time when there was nobody else left, and it seemed like WWE was just going to fizzle out. John Cena became that. And now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was never the biggest John Cena fan. I loved John Cena in the beginning. Like when John Cena was out there wearing throwback jerseys and rapping and wearing chains, when he was pretending to be a black man, it's probably problematic now when you look back at it. But
yeah, so it's like
12-year-old me, I was in. I loved John Cena, but you know, once John Cena started the whole Patriot thing, the Marine, the salutes, and you know the hustle, loyalty, and respect, he lost me. He lost me. I was definitely out there chanting Cena sucks whenever I was in town. But at the end of the day, for somebody like John Cena to rise to the top, especially at a time when it wasn't expected that anybody could fill the shoes that The Rock left, anybody could fill the shoes that Stone Cold Steve Austin left, I got to give it to John Cena. And I'm not mad at WWE calling him the greatest of all time. Is he my personal greatest of all time? Not really. But I'm not mad at WWE for calling him the greatest of all time because if anybody deserves that, it would be John Cena. That's me.
Whoa. Okay.
That's me. Sorry.
You remember?
I know
you
you
remember
disagree.
Professor?
I know you disagree, Cooley.
You remember on Nutty Professor when Buddy Love was like, "You smell that? I smell shit." What are we talking about, bro? Like, what are we talking about, man? Listen. I'm not mad that they're doing this play, but let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a beanstalk. I feel like there's not one single greatest wrestler of all time because wrestling is so what's that word? Diversified. You know,
that's such a political answer.
Nah, seriously, because I feel like there's a wrestler in each era that took it to the top. Like how can you put Cena over Hogan? Like how? I know we don't mess with Hogan, but it's like he wow.
Like, Sylvan ain't never gonna give Hogan no bill at all.
Hogan is like the Jordan, if you want to keep it a bean. Like Hogan's definitely he held it
Hogan's
together.
The biggest star of all time.
I would make Jordan. I would compare Jordan more to Stone Cold. Let's keep it a bean. Like Stone Cold and Jordan are more in the same realm.
So who Hogan be like the Kareem?
Yeah. He's more like Magic to me. Like Magic.
Yeah, okay. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, man. Hogan was a big. I mean, we're young. This before our time. Hogan was a big deal, bro.
Was a big deal.
Bro, Hogan has cereals. Hogan was the biggest thing on earth. American Gladiators.
Bro.
He had movies. Hogan.
Magic wasn't
Hulk
the biggest
Hogan
thing
was
on
the
earth when
first
he
mega
dropped.
star.
Wasn't he?
Let's just
Wasn't
be honest.
Magic like the most like show stopping like
Yeah, but
basketball
Magic
player?
and Jordan,
Bro,
like we put Jordan
It's
over
the same
Magic.
parallels as Hogan.
So it's like, nah, because no,
Bro,
Hogan.
was
Hogan was on
anybody
Three
even
Ninjas,
really
bro.
watching basketball like that before Showtime popped? Was anybody
It don't
really
matter.
popping off on wrestling like that before Hogan came through?
It
It's
don't
the
matter.
same
Hulk
parallels.
Hogan was the first megastar in wrestling, my brother.
I don't know, man.
Hulk Hogan was the very first megastar, like
Yeah, bro.
megastar. When the NBA had
For
Magic,
years.
it was Magic and Bird popping. It was Magic, Bird, Dr. J, all these.
Who
when
did
Hogan
Hogan- who
rose
did
to the
Hogan
top,
need?
it was just Hogan and everybody else.
Who did Hogan need? Hogan needed who?
He didn't need nobody. If you're talking about like a rivalry, like Sergeant Slaughter and
all
who,
right. So no
Bro.
Andre the Giant, right? We don't really have a Hulk Hogan without Andre the Giant for real.
and Andre the Giant was a star. Don't get me wrong, but everybody in the world knows who Hulk Hogan is. Bro, my mom. People who have never seen wrestling a day in their lives, you ask them who Hulk Hogan is, and they'll tell you exactly who
They
Hulk
know who
Hogan
Hulk
is.
Hogan is.
That's how famous Hulk Hogan was. So you can't
Look,
you can't
listen.
sit here and say Hogan wasn't Jordan. Come on now.
He
My-
I
wasn't.
hate
my
Hulk
great-
Hogan.
he
I can't
wasn't.
stand Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan don't like black people. I don't like Hulk Hogan at all. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all like
He
didn't mean
wasn't.
a lot
He
to the
wasn't
game.
though.
Like,
Stone
he's the
Cold was
first
Jordan.
megastar.
Stone Cold
Listen.
was Jordan. Stone Cold, in my opinion, when it comes down to wrestling, and we're making that parallel to basketball, Stone Cold revolutionized wrestling forever. Now, Hulk Hogan may have been the first. He may have been the first guy out here, but when you compare his influence to Stone Cold, there's no comparison. It's just night and day, bro.
I 100% agree because Stone Cold is my greatest of all time. So, hey,
I'm not
I don't
mad
have
at
no, I am not mad at that. But when it comes to Cena, I feel like if somebody was to say that's their greatest, is that their greatest of all time, I wouldn't be upset about that. Like, I feel it, but
I'm gonna give
that's
it
a lot
Cena.
it's a lot of names, man. We got to think about Ric Flair. We got to think about Rock. I mean, Rock was only around for like 6-7 years, but Cena he was the mainstay of WWE, and he did hold that company for some years. And let's not forget about the 08 era, 08, 09, 2010 Cena. He sucked at putting people over. It was a terrible
Hey,
drought
that was
in
Bookie,
those
man.
years, man.
His fault.
That was Vince's fault. That was really
that was
Vince's
Vince.
fault, dog. Vince was smoking that pack, man.
No, but at the
It
end of
was
the day,
horrible, bro.
It was smart. It was smart because he made sure John Cena was going to become who he needed him to become. Same way they did with Roman. When Vince is zeroed in on making something happen, he gonna make it happen.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I don't think Roman will ever touch Cena levels to me. That's just me. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Here's the thing, man. Here's
Like,
the thing.
he's
Let's
great.
just-
No,
let's just-
Roman
let's
is
just back
great,
up.
but it's like, come on, bro. What
Let's
are we
just
talking
back
about?
up. Let's just back up a little
What
bit.
are we talking
Let's just
about,
back
bro?
up. Let's just back up. I'm not saying
Y'all
you're
crazy.
wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, Cooley. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that he ain't got a bloodline.
Come on, man. Come
You know
on,
what I'm saying?
man.
I'm saying
Wait,
he ain't
wait, wait.
like let's just keep it a bean. Like,
Come on,
look,
man.
I think I'm okay with John Cena being the greatest of all time. They want to run with this cementing of the GOAT with John Cena. I'm okay with that. I think John Cena checks every single criteria. I mean, outside of just being a wrestler, we're talking about the most Make-A-Wish Foundation kids ever goes to John Cena. Just upstanding human
facts.
being. When we're talking about just what he stands for, how he has carried the torch. Also, how he was positioned. In a lot of ways, he was positioned like LeBron because his first debut was against Kurt Angle,
Right.
and right after that, he got the rub. And right after that, he got the rub of a lifetime from the Undertaker. And he failed. He was about to get released. He had one more shot with this gimmick, and he got it over so crazy that people had to take him in. Right. So, like, I'm not mad at the sick. Pause. So I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? Like 16-time world champion, cool. But when it comes to the Roman conversation, I mean, we're not gonna act like John Cena has anything as compelling as the Bloodline storyline.
Okay, but here's the thing.
We're not gonna act like he has a title reign that's as
Here's the
incredible
thing.
as Roman's reign.
Though.
We're not gonna act that
That's
way, guys.
booking.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
That's all I'm saying.
Sylvan, here's
Everything
the thing.
is booking. Wrestling is
Here's the
booking. What are we
thing.
talking
Here's the
about?
thing. here's the thing: when Cena was John Cena-ing and had kids crying in the audience and had the women going crazy, he didn't need a bloodline.
He was by himself.
Don't forget the blood. No, wait, no.
Okay,
let me get this out.
right.
Let me get this out, my brother.
Get your rocks
Let's not forget. The bloodline is a crutch because pre-bloodline, what was Roman doing? Were you a fan of Romans before the bloodline?
No, not at all.
Exactly. The bloodline is a crutch. Roman needed the bloodline to get hot. Cena was hot from day one. The minute he started rapping and wearing jean shorts, he was hot.
Not from day one. Not from day one. And come on, don't do revisionist history around here, man. He had to figure it out.
Okay, so look, when Cena popped up with the trunks talking about ruthless aggression, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't really rocking with it. But the minute he put them baggy Echo shorts on and that throwback Michigan jersey and started rapping, we was in. Let's be honest.
The biggest question is, why do black people like white guys portraying black people?
Oh,
because he was basically Mark Wahlberg as Marky Mark. That's what John Cena was.
I'll be honest. I think the reason why that gimmick worked, just being completely honest, was because before the whole word life basic thugonomics theme, he was coming out and like really garnering some crazy heat. Like he would cut off the beat and be like, nah, I'm gonna bust a freestyle right now. And it would be terrible. And it got so bad that people were just like, you know what? I rock with this dude. He's hilarious. Like, he's funny. I think him being funny and him getting something so bad over really is what attributed to John Cena being able to come out and do word life basic thugonomics and people being like, yeah, we right here with you. Because before we were just like, nah, this sucks. This is terrible. What are you doing?
Right. And let's not forget, with Roman Reigns, it's always been Roman Reigns. The minute that Roman Reigns made that main roster debut with the Shield, like it was set in stone that WWE was going to do everything in their power to make Roman Reigns the man.
Yeah.
With John Cena, you know, WWE, they didn't know. They tried with Batista. They tried with Randy Orton. Let's not forget, John Cena was just the one that outlasted them and became much larger than they ever could. So you got to give it to Cena, man. He's not my personal GOAT, but you know, calling him the GOAT, I can't be mad at
I just don't think Roman can ever touch that kind of level. I don't know.
I just don't think there's anything. There's nothing as memorable there's nothing as memorable in Cena's reign as memorable as the Bloodline feud and this reign right now. But that's for everybody. Let's just talk about it. Nobody has a reign that's going to be as memorable as his Roman Reigns reign, and we know this. We know this. Like, we know this as wrestling fans. Like it or not, hate it or love it. We will remember this forever,
to me, I don't think Roman Reigns has ever had a feud as good as the Cena and CM Punk feud. But maybe that's just me being biased because I love CM Punk.
I agree. But I can agree.
I don't think Roman has a feud that good. Now, this title reign has been incredible just because of the length of it. But we know that's
I'm still not putting Cena over.
That's writing, baby.
I'm still not putting Cena over Stone Cold. But also, the 90s were, you know, at its peak of popularity when it comes to wrestling. So, you know, what are we talking about?
You know what? Just to tie this back to our very first topic. You know what's hilarious about this conversation that we just had? If you ask the IWC, they'll tell you that John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Hulk Hogan can't wrestle.
Yeah. The
biggest stars in this entire industry. And the IWC will tell you that they can't wrestle. The IWC is clueless, baby. They're clueless. No,
I don't know, bro. I don't think Hulk Hogan can wrestle, bro.
Hulk Hogan can't wrestle, but I mean,
I don't think he can wrestle, bro.
He just can't wrestle.
Hulk Hogan to me was an incredible entertainer. He was a big megastar, but like when that bell rings, it get ugly.
Bro, I recently watched a match. I think it was NWO on WWE with X-Pac. X-Pac, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash versus The Rock and Hogan. And when I say when Hogan got in that ring, bro, the type of punches he was landing was just like, yo, this is just terrible, bro. Like chair shots was like weak. It was just like, bro, even I don't think I would be hurt from this stuff. Like,
did Hogan just get on that? Was he too old when he finally got on? Is that the issue? Because when you look at these matches with Hogan was having like late in WWE against like The Rock and Kurt Angle, like Hogan was already like 70 years old. Like how old is Hulk Hogan?
Bro,
Does
I
anybody
don't know
know?
how old
I'm
is
about to find
Hogan?
out right now.
He got to be
Yeah,
like
how old is he?
89, bro. Hogan got to be
Yeah.
up there.
Hogan age.
He
Hogan
probably
gotta
lies
be
about his
up there,
age.
man.
Nah, man. Hulk Hogan's 70 years old,
Facts.
bro. He
No
There's no
way.
way
He got to
Hulk
be
Hogan is
older than
70.
that.
Bro, he's
He has to
70
be older than
years
that.
old, man.
No.
Hulk Hogan was 70 years
No.
old in 1996.
Nah,
There's
he's
no
70
way Hulk
now.
Hogan is 70.
Yeah, dog.
No.
He's 70 now, bro. He was in his 50s around that time.
What?
Bro,
I mean, he didn't look
Hogan.
bad. It was just like, bro, you just can't
Nah.
wrestle, man.
He looked bad. Like, you see his face, them wrinkles.
Yeah, LA Knight is
Hogan
50.
looked like
He
a
look
melting
better.
candle. You telling me that man is only 70?
I was just trying
There's
to be
no
Wow.
nice.
way. There's no way. That's an industry
Wow.
age if I ever seen one.
I was just trying to be nice, but you know,
Right.
he looked pretty
Wow,
terrible.
that's crazy.
He looked bad.
But listen, I want to hear from y'all. I heard from my two brothers sitting next to me, but I want to hear from y'all out there. Is John Cena the GOAT? Is John Cena really the GOAT? Or is it Stone Cold Steve Austin? Is it The Rock? Is it The Undertaker? Whoever you think the GOAT is, let us know below. And let me remind y'all, we got this Discord popping. So if you want to be a part of this Discord for free, make sure you tap in and let us know that you need that Discord. Because look, I'm going to tell you right now, this ain't going to be free forever. We moving out here, you know what I'm saying? We moving. One day, I might come on here with the glasses on. I might be Hollywood Qwan. I might have the handlebar blonde mustache. I might be Hollywood Qwan. So, you know, get in before it's too late, my brothers.
Yeah, you lost me with the handlebar, man.
Hey, look, man, we gonna turn NWO in here, and the N gonna stand for something else. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But for real, if you really want this Discord, let us know below. Hey, DM us on Instagram. You know, let us know you need that because it's not gonna be around for free forever. Because we moving, out here, baby. Now,
What's our Instagram?
What is our Instagram? I'm plugging our Instagram. I don't even know the handle.
WWH podcast, man. Is it?
Yeah, WWH podcast.
WWH podcast.
Yep.
Make sure you follow that. Comment. Let us know something in these comments because we going up.
Show us some love.